There are a lot of taglines you've probably heard by now: the Fourth Industrial Revolution, the Great Reset, and that you will own nothing and be happy. WEF, the World Economic Forum, is the international organization for public-private cooperation. The forum engages the foremost political, business, cultural, and other leaders of society to shape global, regional, and industry agendas. They promote the Great Reset. We should ask ourselves whether the WEF is really a force for good on the planet, or if we should be concerned and if we should be asking questions. During the video, I propose a hypothetical future scenario that the WEF is promoting and what type of world we could be living in by 2030, a world that your property, your identity, and your money could be controlled by the government. We'll dive right in, shall we? As a result of my own opinion, I believe there are three main pillars that surround the agenda for the World Economic Forum for 2030 in relation to the now famous event called the Great Reset. But before I begin, let me remind you that the World Economic Forum and its leader, Klaus Schwab, have not been elected yet, and yet they have been working around the world to influence politics in order to transform the planet that we live on. In addition, all of the resources that I am sharing in this video come from well-established sources, such as the WEF's website. Let us take a look at the three hypothetical pillars and how they might impact our lives. Pillar 1. Our first pillar of the 2030 agenda is surveillance, and the WEF could achieve this by having us all under surveillance. World Economic Forum suggests that every person on Earth will receive a new kind of digital ID that will help promote a better world where everyone has access to basic services, but that could also be linked to everything in your life. You would be required to book plane and train tickets and keep track of wherever you are. Having access to social media, having an internet bank account, and even being able to spend your money would require this digital ID. It is possible that you may not be able to buy anything at all, and who would control your digital ID and the data it contains? Well, of course, your government would. In summary, every move you make in your modern life could be tracked by this new form of personal identifier, including what you do online, where you go, what you buy, and what you say. Just recently, Kenya's High Court ruled a digital first system to be illegal in the country for fear the government will use it to violate a person's right to privacy, but the WEF disagrees. The WEF claims it will do more good than harm, but anyway, where will you carry this new form of ID? According to the WEF, you will carry it inside your body. In his book The Fourth Industrial Revolution, Schwab discusses heavily the use of RFID chips to track items around the world, enabling our economy to become significantly more efficient, but again in reference to the same technology. He also said that similar monitoring systems will be used to track the movement and identities of individuals in the near future. On the WEF website, he discusses a future where electronic implants could become a relatively normal part of human life. My life has never been better. I own nothing and have no privacy, but sometimes I get annoyed about the fact that I have no privacy, don't know where I can go, and don't have to be registered with anyone. All the thoughts and dreams I have, somehow, are recorded, and I just hope they will not be used against me in any way. We are now going to talk about the second pillar of the Great Reset agenda, which is finance. The next pillar of the Great Reset agenda could be finance, and more specifically, putting more control of money and assets into the hands of the government so that in the end you own nothing and you will be happy. Here is the pillar in which this could be played out in multiple articles on their website and elsewhere. The WEF predicts a world where government will own most of the things you use in life and will deliver them when you're ready, but according to a WEF member, sometimes you won't even have to make your own decisions on what you need because an algorithm that knows your tastes better than you do could make these choices for you. In short, everything that you own now could eventually be owned by the government, including your home, but you won't have to pay rent because someone else will be using your place when you're not there. However, the most important tool that you have, which is money, seems like the WEF might have a plan for that as well. The WEF emphasizes how cash is risky in the modern world, and how digital money should be used instead. Despite the fact that statistics show many countries around the world prefer cash over electronic forms of money, the WEF believes these people simply don't know what's best for them. Instead, they believe that electronic payment systems are the way of the future. So what could replace a world without paper money? Well, the next step would be to develop a digital currency that can be accessed by everyone. Like crypto, but the future digital currency would be completely centralized by your government, and this is called the Central Bank Digital Currency, or CBDC, which is a fully traceable, secure, trackable, and fully trackable form of currency that also lives on a blockchain, but it will also be fully centralized where the money is controlled by those in power rather than being in the hands of users. Crypto gives you the power to be your own bank. Crypto is awesome. What they want is CBDC. This is different to crypto. Essentially, with a CBDC, your money would no longer be held in a bank account, but instead your government would become the bank that holds your money for you. Nations like the USA, Brazil, China, Canada, Germany, Austria, and Australia are already in the research or development stages of a CBDC, so we may be only a couple of years away from it becoming a reality. However, what could be most worrying is the fact that a CBDC would also be fully regulated by the. If your money is programmable, the government could impose whatever rules it wishes on you, potentially limiting your spending to the items they deem appropriate or even taking it away completely. To put it simply, it would become the ideal tool to keep track of and control your money, something we all need to survive in this world today. I really don't want this. I don't think anyone does. Before we move on to Pillar 3, I want to talk about. Today's sponsor is still strongly focused on decentralized money that is firmly in the hands of the people. As part of my diversification strategy for growing my wealth, I invested in crypto. See the link below this video for more information. Final pillar of the WEF's hypothetical plan for 2030 is scoring, which involves ranking human beings against one another based on almost every single action that they take, also known as social credit. It basically involves judging how good or bad a citizen you are by your day-to-day behavior, rewarding those that are doing things the government likes and punishing those that do the opposite. No thank you. Several news outlets have written about China's social credit system, SCS, recently. It will have a major impact not only on the 1.4 billion citizens of the country, but also on digital identities as well. Sounds like an Orwellian concept. The Chinese government explains that the system is designed to monitor and engineer better behavior on an individual and a business level. The system rewards good behavior, which leads to a higher score, and punishes bad behavior, which results in a lower score. There is no disputing the fact that these three hypothetical pillars seem to point to one eventuality: absolute control, the control of people by tracking their every move, the control of a society by controlling its access to money and necessities, and the control of an individual's behavior and choices by a restrictive credit system. My opinion is that the WEF is promoting things that could make this kind of system a reality. As I said at the beginning of this video, you have to make up your own mind as to what is going on. However, remember that the WEF is an organization we have not chosen, an organization funded by some of the most powerful and richest corporations in history. It is an organization that has its young global leaders becoming political cabinet members all around the world and appears to think it knows better than we do about the choices we should all be making in our individual lives. I want to live in a world where I can make my own choices and decide what I want to do with my life. I want freedom. What I enjoy and not have some government or algorithm make decisions for me. I get to say what I want, associate with people I like without worrying that one day I will lose some imaginary brownie points, and have the freedom to decide if I want to buy or own things that bring me joy. Do tell me once more who voted for these people to decide what kind of future we may live in, because the WEF does not want this for us. Nobody voted for the WEF. That's who voted. No one. Hopefully you are on the same page as me. We don't want this. Please share your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video so more people can see it.